Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to week 9 of my reboot for 2025. We are going to talk about this past week. I actually had a fantastic week. I feel like I finally figured things out, what it's going to look like for me as far as losing weight and seeing that scale move. I had a great week with the scale. So I want to share with you guys exactly where my head is at, exactly what it was that I changed this week to make that scale go down, because it feels good when we see that number go down, right? All right, guys, so let's just get into it now. Alright guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm the incredible shrinking Steffi. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, be a part of my journey, and allow me to be a part of yours. This channel is my journey to lose a total of 200 pounds for my highest weight of 374. I have battled with obesity and food addiction my entire life, ever since I was a little girl. So figuring this out, figuring out the mental part of this primarily is my focus. I do a lot of what I eat in a day videos on this channel as well, but I'm very real, I'm very truthful, very upfront with my journey, my story, and we take this journey together. So if that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, I have a support group on Facebook, The Shrinkables, so come join us over there. All of my social media stuff is down below. Alright guys, I'm sorry about the lighting. It's like really dark behind me. We just have a little bit of natural light coming through. It's gonna be dark soon, so just dealing with what I have right now. So last week I didn't really have a video up for you guys because it was a shorts video, really quick update, just letting you guys know that I was still here, still pushing, still fighting. I did mention that I was frustrated with the scale, which I have been. I've expressed that to you guys, that I kind of changed things this year. I'm working out a lot more and kind of just doing things differently. I'm just trying to find my way. I felt like there was change. There was a lot of change that had to happen this year. And with change comes challenge, right? Because if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So if you're trying to change things, it is going to be challenging. So I wanted to share with you guys what exactly worked for me that I did. But before I get into that, I just wanted to explain a little something to you guys, because I have had a lot of people that have said, you know, don't rely on the scale. Trust the process. Just keep going. Keep doing what you're doing and the weight's going to come off. Absolutely. I completely agree with that. With me, I have really big goals this year. I have my skin removal surgery. We haven't had it scheduled yet, but it will be scheduled for October of this year. And because I gained some weight last year, I want to lose, or I want to get as close to my goal as I can before my surgery. I want to tone and build as much muscle as I can before my surgery, but I want to lose as much weight as I can. I only have 7 months and less now. So it's really important for me to just get as close to my goal as I can. So what have I been doing? For this entire year, I have been focusing on being in a calorie deficit to lose weight. I have always been low carb. I mean, every single weight loss journey that I've always been on, I have been Atkins, keto, low carb, you know, like that is just my jam. That's what I know. It's where I'm comfortable. It's what I'm familiar with, and it's what works. It is what has always worked. This year, I am just focusing on being in a calorie deficit. Still scared of carbs a little bit, like the higher carbs. It scares me because I have that mentality that carbs are evil, carbs are bad, and it's not true. The processed, simple carbs, obviously, those aren't good for us, right? But complex carbs, whole foods, you know, like that stuff isn't bad for us. And so I've really been trying to change my mentality when it comes to that and just focus on being in a calorie deficit and protein. And protein is what I have kind of been obsessing about. It's just making sure that I'm getting enough protein. I figured out what my maintenance calories is using a calculator online. I will put a link down below if you guys want to figure yours out. But my maintenance calories said it was 2,200. To be in a good calorie deficit and to lose body fat, you should lower your calories. They say 500 to 700 calories, being a calorie deficit. Most people do 500. So I was eating around 1,500 calories, sometimes more. I would go like 1,500 to 1,800, and that's pretty much what I've been doing since the beginning of this year. And sometimes kind of upping it a little bit and eating a little bit more. The weight loss has been so incredibly slow. And I knew I had to give it some time to really understand, what's going on. How is my body reacting to this, new way of eating and working out? Obviously things are going to need to like balance out, and I'm going to be retaining water because my muscles are tearing and repairing and all that good stuff, right? So I know. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to give it some time, see what's going on with my body. And I was just not losing weight. I had lost weight in the beginning of the year because I did an egg fast. It just removed the water weight. Love a good egg fast to remove that bloat, absolutely. And that's what I did in the beginning of the year. And it did. I took off 8 pounds in the beginning of the year. But then I was at a standstill. And so many people were telling me like, this is normal, trust the process, keep going, which yes, absolutely. I would recommend that to anybody. If the scale isn't moving, that doesn't mean that things aren't happening inside of you, inside your body, right? Like you just keep going, you just keep pushing. For me, I have been on this weight loss journey for 4.5 years now. I have stayed consistent on this journey the longest I have ever been consistent with a healthy way of living. It's the longest time. And I know my body. I am pretty in tune with my body, and I felt it. I felt like I was doing something to slow down the results. There was more that I could be doing to get faster results. And the reason why I am so gung-ho, like, let's do it, let's try to lose weight, is because I'm getting my skin removal surgery. I have goals, right? Like, so I want to do everything that I can right now to lose as much weight as I can. And so I'm like, all right, I gave it a good 2.5 months. Some would say, give it more time, but I gave it 2.5 months, and the scale just was not budging. Like, I would lose a little bit, but then it would just come back on, and it was just maintaining. That's what I was pretty much doing, was maintaining around 1,500 to 1,800 calories. So I started to do a little bit of research, and our metabolism can obviously be affected by what we do. Our body adapts to what we do. The longer you are in a calorie deficit, and let's say you're in an extreme calorie deficit, the longer you are there, the more your body's going to adapt to it. The easier it's going to adapt to it. And then once it adapts to it, forget it. The weight loss stops and your body is used to it. That's a normal way of eating for your body. I did a lot of calorie restriction in the last 4.5 years. I did a lot of OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And a lot of the times I wasn't doing it right because I wasn't eating enough. And so I feel like I definitely affected my metabolism. And also, I had gastric bypass surgery in 2015. I have a smaller stomach. I have a smaller appetite. And so I did some research on that, on what gastric bypass patients, where they should be 10 years post-op. And it said most patients 10 years post-op are usually around 1,000 to 1,500 calories a day. Which makes sense. And it's recommended to get at least 60 to 80 grams of protein a day, and that's for gastric bypass. So I had to remember who I was. What does my body need? And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna play around with it this week and see what happens. So I dropped my calorie deficit to 1,200. So I was usually around like 1,100 to 1,200 every single day. I did have one day that I was around 2,000 because I did have some extras. And then there was another day that I was around 1,500, so I did go a little up. But every single day I focused on protein, and I got at least 100 grams of protein in every single day. And it worked. It worked. It's like I found my sweet spot. And a lot of people would say, no, 1200 is way too low. So I'm here to tell you, make sure you are doing what is right for you. And it takes experimenting. It takes figuring out, you know, what your body needs, what is right for you. We are all so different. And so it is so important to find what is going to work for me. 1200 calories feels great for me. I am not starving myself. I am not deprived at all. And I feel great. I feel like I have energy when I'm working out. Like I feel good. I can't say that 1200 is a great number for everyone else because it is very low, but I had gastric bypass. It's normal for me, and I had to remember that. And so that's what I did this week. That is what I did this week. And I didn't give you a weight update last week because I just did a shorts video, but I was 232.8 and just kind of hovering around 231 is where I have stayed for the last 2.5 months. I've just been hovering around there, and it's been incredibly frustrating because that's weight that I had gained. And I'm just ready for it to go. Like bye-bye, right? Like I want it to go. So 232.8 is what I weighed in last Sunday. And I just kept going down. And my weight this morning was 226.6. So I lost 6.2 pounds this week. And like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that at all, but I felt it. I felt it, guys. I felt like, okay, there's something else there's something that I need to be doing. There's some tweaking there. And I felt it. I felt like my body was just holding on to weight that I didn't need, that I didn't want. And so once I tweaked it, once I just kind of tried something else, it worked. It worked. So I found my sweet spot. And while 1200 calories a day for me feels great, there are days that I do feel a little hungrier, and I listen to my body and I eat. I do not deprive myself. I do not starve myself. Like when I am hungry, I eat, but not in my fasting window. I still do intermittent fasting, but I have a very long fasting window. I actually don't start eating until 3 o'clock. And I just have coffee and water during the day. That helps me to stay at my calorie deficit, but also to reap the benefits of fasting, but to control my emotional hunger, you know, my stress hunger, to keep me in the calorie deficit, but also to focus on the foods that I need to be eating, the foods that my body needs, right? Like sometimes I have foods that I want, but most of the time I am eating what my body needs. And I feel like this is just a whole new chapter for me. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve last year. In 2024, I felt it. I felt like there was change that needed to happen. And I didn't really know what that looked like. I had an idea and I played around with it, but it didn't work last year. This year it is working. And I'm just going to keep going with this. I have goals as far as weight that I want to be at because I would love to hit Wonderland by October, by my surgery. And so I have weights for each month at what I want to be at for that month. And I did not think I was going to hit it for March. I wanted to be 224 for March. And I don't know, it's a long shot. There's still 2 more pounds, but I was 231.9 at the beginning of March. And I'm 226.6. So I lost 5.3 pounds for the month, which is awesome because I really want to set a goal for myself to lose 4 pounds a month. But it's kind of just like an open goal for me. Like if I can get as close to that, then that's good enough, right? Like it's just getting as close to my goal as I can. But it's good to have a vision. It's good to set those small goals and celebrate them as we go. So if I can get to that goal for March, super awesome. I think 4 pounds a month is a realistic goal for me. And we're just going to try and get as close as we can to that number. So I just wanted to share with you guys what exactly I did this week. And it really was just dropping my calories a little bit. So if you guys feel stuck, I highly recommend tracking your food and seeing where you're at with your calories. That was an eye-opener for me because it's all about your caloric intake and outtake. It's all about that. While there are certain foods that we can be sensitive to that will cause inflammation and maybe be trigger foods for us. You know, we have to be aware of all of that. But bottom line, it comes down to calories. And that is kind of like the mindset shift that I'm having this year. So I would recommend tracking your food, seeing where you're at for your maintenance calories. Use the TD link that I have down below to figure it out. Start there, subtract 500 calories from that number and track your food, start moving more, lift if you can, do strength training and see if it makes a difference, because that is what is working for me this year for sure. So I'm really excited that finally I figured this out. I'm not a crazy person over here. Well, I am. I am crazy and I am very impatient. But I just wanted to explain to you guys that I felt it. I felt like my body was ready to lose weight. And I know there could be more fluctuation and I could even go up this week. I am totally aware of that. But now I know where I need to be. Now I know what is going to work for me, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And I've been walking a lot more now. Now that it's getting nicer outside, I've been going for my walks again and just using that as my cardio. And it's just, things are really good. And I feel like this is going to be my year. I said that it was going to, and it's looking that way. So I just think it's super important for us to figure out what is going to work for us. And that does take experimenting. It does take patience and discipline and some tweaking, you know, figure out what things that you need to change in your life on your journey that will help you be successful. Maybe there are some things that you need to give up. Alcohol was huge for me. When I gave up alcohol, it changed everything for me. And I know that there are certain things in our lives that hold us back. They hold us down. And they hold us back from being that person that we're meant to be. They hold us back from our true potential. Alcohol was it for me. When I gave that up, it was like I had clarity. I was focused on my goals, on what was important, and I didn't have anything holding me back. So I highly recommend you guys just kind of, you know, reevaluate your life and what's going on. And if there's anything that's holding you back, give it up. Just give it up. And I know it's hard. Oh, I know it's hard, but it's not impossible, and we can do hard things. All right, guys, I'm sitting here editing, and I forgot to mention that I will be doing an egg fast this week. I did mention that I was going to be continuing these short fasts here and there once a month to shock our bodies and keep weight loss going. So I will be doing that just for 3 days, though. Usually I do 5 days, but I'll be doing 3 days, and it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. So if you guys want to join in with me, definitely do it. But I'll be doing that this week. Just wanted to mention it. Before I go, I just wanted to mention real quick that a viewer of mine, Cindy, she has her own YouTube channel, and she asked me if I wanted to be on a live stream with her in April. So I will be doing that, and I will stream it to my channel as well if you guys want to hop on. She's going to be interviewing me, talking to me about some stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to share my story. So if you're interested in checking it out, it's going to be April 18th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So put that in your calendar. Would love to see you guys there. So that will be super fun. All right, guys, if you're still watching right now, I want you to comment down below the word strength, because man, do we have a lot in there. Whether we think we do or not, we do. And whatever strength we don't have, we can rely on God for His. How blessed are we? All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and join my support group on Facebook. I'll see you guys at the next video. Stay safe and choose health. Bye, guys.